evening, Northern Colorado. This is Ron, K0AZA. I'm located in Fort Collins, and I'll be net control for tonight's NCARC TechNet. Yeah, it's working now. The purpose of the TechNet is to enlighten amateur radio operators on topics of a technical nature. We'll do our best to answer any technical questions for the benefit of all those who are listening. If there's a subject that has never been made quite clear to you, this is a great opportunity to find an answer. If anyone feels they have information that will help regarding that subject, please give your call sign and net control will call on you. This net may be interrupted at any time for emergencies or priority traffic. If you need to use the system for an emergency during the net, say break and give your call sign. We'll acknowledge you and suspend the net until you advise that you're clear. Is there any emergency or priority traffic at this time? All licensed amateur radio operators with 70-centimeter privileges are encouraged to check into the net. NCARC club membership is encouraged, but never required for participation. Check-ins are requested for the purpose of counting participation, and no checkout is required. This is K0AZA, net control for tonight's NCARC TechNet. When checking in, please give your call sign slowly, first alphabetically, then again using the ITU phonetic alphabet, along with your name and location. When checking in, please state if you have a topic that you would like to discuss. Check-ins will be taken in groups of 3. When I acknowledge the first group of 3, I'll move on to the next group. I'll start by taking in check-ins from Echolink. Anyone on Echolink, please call now. Okay, I'll take check-ins now from call suffixes Alpha through Mike. Alpha through Mike, please call now.
WA9FBO, 9 Foxtrot Bravo Oscar, Bob in Laporte. Good evening, Ron. No traffic.
K0MLG, Kilowatt 0, Mike Lima Golf, Marty, Wellington.
Whiskey 8 Lima, WW8L, Tim, Watson Lake.
Now let's hold up there. The net acknowledges WA9FBO, K0MLG, Moving Van Marty, and WWAL Tim. Next group of 3, go ahead now.
This is K3SAD, Kilo 3, Sugar Alpha Delta, Mobile, no traffic.
Whiskey Alpha 7, Echo Mike, Ed Neary with a topic.
0 HAK, Kilo 0, Hotel Alpha Kilo, Dave in Fort Collins.
Okay, let's hold up there. The net acknowledges K3SAD, WA, and I don't think I wrote this down right. I have WAZEM. That doesn't look at all right. Maybe it's WA2EM and K0HAK. Ed, can you confirm that for me, please?
Whiskey Alpha 7, Echo Mike.
I think I did that last time you checked in. I must have a mental block between 7s and Zs. Okay, let's move on. Next group of 3, please.
This is W0LAI, Whiskey 0 Lima Echo India, Chad in Stout, no traffic.
KF0GZZ, Kilo Fox 0, Golf Zulu, Patrick, Mobile to Greeley.
This is WB5TEX, Whiskey Bravo 5, Tango Echo X-Ray, Dale in Loveland, no traffic.
Okay, let's hold up there. The net acknowledges W0LAI, KF0GZZ, and WB5TEX. Next group of 3, go now.
This is AE0CF, Alpha Echo 0, Charlie Foxtrot, Ben, Fort Collins.
This is Kilo 0, Lima Echo Echo, K0LEE, Lee in Greeley.
This is KF0, OTD, Kilo Foxtrot 0, Oscar Delta Delta, call from Burkett, no traffic.
Okay, the net acknowledges AE0CF, K0LEE, and KF0ODD. Hi, Paul. Let's go ahead and open it up to check-ins from all call signs Alpha through Zulu. Alpha through Zulu, please call now.
This is Kilo Foxtrot 0, Oscar Mike.
This is K5 SGC, Kilo 5, Sierra Golf Charlie, Dave, Fort Collins.
Okay, the first person that checked in on that group, I got KF0 Oscar and didn't hear the rest of it. You were real weak. Could you come back and try that again, please?
Sure, that is Kilo Foxtrot 0 Oscar Mike Uniform. Kilo Foxtrot 0 Oscar Mike Uniform. Jack in Windsor, no traffic on
Oh, much better, Jack. You came through very clear that time. The net acknowledges KF0 OMU and K5 SGC. Next group of 3, go now.
This is N0 EMP, November 0, Echo Mike Papa. Greg in Fort Collins with Debbie, K0 DBE, Kilo 0, Delta Bravo Echo. One question and one announcement.
KG6 OPC, Kilo Golf 6, Oscar Bravo Charlie, Justin Eaton, no traffic.
The net acknowledges N0 EMP with a question and announcement, K0 DBE and KG6 OBC. Next group of 3, go now. Hearing none, let's go ahead and move on. We can take late check-ins later. Ed, WA7EM, you had a question. Go ahead.
Good evening, WA7EM. Not so much a question as a proposal I've seen floating around. It's called the Call Sign Modernization Act. Back when the numbers, the call sign districts 0 through 9 were assigned, they used the antiquated decimal numbering system, and the flyover country where the 0s and the 7s live was mostly empty, very few hams. So I don't know what it is, 25 states got assigned into 0s and 7s. The proposal is to use the modern hexadecimal system where there's 0 through 9 and then A, B, C, D, E, F, and the 7s would be allocated to A, B, C, and the 0s would be allocated to D, E, F, thus giving good spread and easy recognition of who is from where. I wonder what people think about that. And, oh, by the way, April Fools.
Well, you had me going, Ed. I was thinking, I wonder why I haven't heard that before.
Didn't want to drag it out too long, get people angry.
Yeah, okay, well, thanks for the chuckle, Ed. I appreciate it. Let's move on. N0 EMP, Greg, you had an announcement and a question.
Yes, first the announcement. I hope most of you are aware that we do a lunch every other Wednesday in Loveland at the Perkins Restaurant on West Eisenhower, which is also West Highway 34. That Wednesday will be this Wednesday, the day after tomorrow, so 11:30 lunch. You don't have to be, it's not an NCARC function, you don't have to be an NCARC member, you don't even have to be a licensed amateur radio operator. Everybody's welcome. 11:30 at Perkins.
Thanks, Greg, and go ahead with your question.
For the question, it would be helpful if Ivan, W1VAN, is in here, and I missed the first 10 minutes of the net, so did Ivan check in?
No, he didn't, but let's see if he's out there. W1VAN, you out there, Ivan? Yeah, it doesn't sound promising, Greg. Did you want to go ahead and go with your question anyway, or do you want to hold it until he's on?
From Ham has a DMR repeater on Buckhorn. I think it's 445.200, and it's been running like nonstop. And it will break like every 20 minutes. It will drop its carrier for a little bit and then come back up again. I haven't heard a Morse ID, and I've been playing with some software to actually demodulate DMR in a computer, and it shows that it is not passing voice packets, it's just idle. So it's idling on the air, transmitting for like 20-minute blocks, and it wasn't doing that before, and I'm wondering if there's a reason for that. N0 EMP.
SAD.
Go ahead, George.
Question, Greg. Does it present as like a dead key on a specific talk group, or what? How does it behave?
It is showing from the software I have and the display I'm seeing. It is time slot 1 idle, time slot 2 idle, and there's a color code. I want to say the color code is either 7 or 8, but I'm not sure on that. Nothing as far as the talk group. And also, listening to DMR repeaters that are actually passing voice traffic. When you listen to the DMR, just as narrowband FM, you can tell there's kind of like data going on because the sound kind of changes. When it's on idle, you can tell after you've listened to it for a while, you can tell what an idle DMR sounds like, and this thing is just idling along and not passing data, and 0 EMP.
SAD here. Well, I'm going to tune in and listen because I think that sounds kind of neat, but I have no input as far as the solution.
Okay, and I haven't listened to it today, but it's been the last few days it's been like that. As a matter of fact, Bart N0NYY noticed it last Wednesday at our lunch, at the Wars lunch that happens on they do a lunch every week, but we go to that one when we don't have the Perkins lunch, and he noticed it a week ago, and it was still going on yesterday.
That's interesting. If it was locked, you would have thought that Ivan would have noticed it, but you never know.
Well, it's an RM ham repeater, and I was going to email them today, and then I decided not to because of the day, because of what day it is. I figured I'll wait till tomorrow to send them an email about it, but I know it wasn't doing that a couple months ago because we were looking at all the signals on Buckhorn, and at that time, that repeater would come up. If it was not in use, it would come up for like 10 seconds every 2 minutes and just do a quick little burst and then go back down. So it's totally different now. And 0 EMP. Thank you.
Yeah, interesting. Well, thanks for that, Greg. Are there, well, first off, I guess I should say this is K0AZA, net control for Northern Colorado Amateur Radio Club, Weekly TechNet. Are there any late check-ins, additional comments, or other questions?
KB0YDN, Kilo Bravo 0, Yankee Delta November. Eric, Snowy Pinewood. No comments.
WB5TEX with a question. Later.
Okay, I've got the 2 check-ins. Thank you, gentlemen. And Dale, go ahead with your question.
Okay, well, I got a technical paper, and it's talking about flipping the ends of your radiators on your Yagi antennas, and I need some help kind of getting through it. Typically, Yagis, you have for your elements, you have a great big tube, and then as you go out, you get smaller and smaller and smaller, this paper brought up that over years of usage that the electrons kind of get shifted one direction, and this paper is advocating that you reverse that and put the smaller elements in the middle and let them get bigger and bigger and bigger, but what it winds up doing is it winds up accelerating the electrons in their electron shift, and so it says what it can do is negate the velocity factor in the coax. Go ahead.
And 0 EMP.
Go ahead, Greg.
I'm wondering if your Yagi's on a rotator, and some of the time it's aligned with the Earth's magnetic field, and some of the time it's crosswise to the Earth's magnetic field, if that would have an effect.
Well, it may, and it was kind of like the theory of, researchers have found, 150-year-old glass out on the prairies that, you know, where the glass would settle to the bottom, kind of a thing. But the electrons kind of they kind of move around in the metal just a little bit and kind of get frozen. But what this does is by reversing it, it actually starts accelerating the signal out, and so you get a faster signal off the tip end of those elements. Go ahead.
Well, the effect that you have when you're transmitting is the effect reversed when you receive?
No, it appears normal. It does seem to affect you know, the propagation of the signal down the line, because now it's negating some of that and just accelerating and negating some of that velocity factor, but it's speeding up, you know. So I don't know. If anyone wants to check into it, it's the call sign of the person that's presenting the paper is J0KE.
All right, I'll look that up, N0EMP.
You got him, Dale.
W0LEV.
Good evening, Dave. I've got you checked in.
Yeah, thanks. I didn't catch the whole thing there, but the ends of elements on a Yagi, a dipole, whatever, are high impedance. The voltage is a lot higher. The ends of the elements are capacitive, which is voltage dependent. The center are typically inductive, which is magnetic. Yes, the potential at the end of the elements, be the Yagi or dipole, is higher at the ends. The voltage is higher at the ends. We all know that half sign for current and half sign, well, it's not half sign, but half sign for current and half sign for voltage, which is the opposite of the current. W0LEV.
SAD.
Go ahead, George.
So I was gonna look that up again. That was J0KE, right? Was the call sign?
Correct.
Copy that. Back to net.
Yeah, please fill me in on the supposition of the paper. I didn't hear the whole thing.
Dale, you want to add anything to that?
I go too long in it. Just happy April Fool.
Yeah, okay. It was not April Fool. W0LEV, back to the kitchen.
On that, are there any other comments, questions, or other discussion?
WA9FBL.
Yeah, go ahead, Bob.
I was wondering if anybody else heard the same thing I heard about they're not making yardsticks any longer.
Well, that's been all over the ham radio Facebook pages today. K0MLG.
I'll check into it. WA9FBL, thanks.
Yeah, LEV.
Go ahead, Dave.
Yeah, this goes way back, but even vertical, if you paint one side of the vertical black and leave the other side shiny or white, you'll get all kinds of directivity off that vertical. It's been measured as much as plus 15 dBi off the black side. Sure. April Fool. W0LEV.
Okay, anything else before we close the net tonight? Hearing none, this concludes the NCARC TechNet. Net Control would like to thank each station for their participation. We had a total of 21 check-ins tonight. This net will occur again next Monday at the same time on this repeater. This is K0AZA closing the net at 1828 and returning the repeater to normal operation. 73, and good night, everyone.
This presentation was brought to you by the Northern Colorado Amateur Radio Club. For more information, visit our website, ncarc.net. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.